Hello YouTubers, I know it's been a long time since I posted a video. The last video was a channel intro and explaining some of the things about the YZ250FX, and now we are going to do a little video showing you guys how to do a clutch replacement on a KLX 140L. Now I don't know how to do it because I've never done it myself, but we're going to try and see how it goes. I think it's going to be fairly simple. We'll just have to see. We've already washed the bikes. And now we are ready to start disassembling and see if we can do this without tearing anything up. So let's see what happens. So we're getting ready to get started on the KLX 140L clutch replacement. And a few things to note before we start. It's crooked. Oh. No, not me. There we go. A few things to note before we start is, first of all, the products that we're using in this video are not sponsored or supplied by anyone. I purchased all these, so these are not endorsements. Don't hold me responsible if you go out and buy this stuff and it doesn't work for you. So anyway, this is just what we choose to use and our method of doing it. This is not a professional tutorial by any means. It is for entertainment purposes only. Alright, so we're getting ready to pull the side cover off of our KLX 140L. First thing we got to do though is get a couple other things out of the way. We're going to pull off the rear brake lever, and we're going to pull off the clutch cable so that whenever we get all the bolts off, we can pop that thing up and get it completely out of the way. Our clutch and friction kit here, it comes with clutch spring, friction disc, and the metal disc in between. I got this from, where did I get this from?
Amazon? eBay?
No, it wasn't Amazon, it wasn't eBay.
Motorsports.com.
No, it wasn't Motorsport, it was Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Once again, these are not paid endorsements, but this is just who we use. They're a pretty good source for that kind of thing. EBC brakes, Dirt Racer, MX, and ATV, plus rebuild kit. So that's what we're using. We're going to go ahead and put these in the tray with some oil so that they'll be soaking while we do the rest of the work. Alright, so Evan is currently taking off the rear brake pedal, and we have our clutches soaking in a pan down there full of Yama lube. And as soon as we get
our parts.
Yeah, we've got a little rag over here with to put our parts on as we take them off. And as soon as Evan gets that brake pedal off, then we will move to the clutch cable. As you can see right here, there's a little clevis back here that has a pin we've already removed. Evan is taking out the Allen bolt that holds the brake lever on.
I can hurry.
And he's just about got it. Alright, so.
And a washer.
And a washer, yep. So we're just gonna slide that out of the way. Put the washer over here with the parts.
I need to take this off. Take
that loose.
There you go.
And we're just gonna let this kind of
hang
out of the way there so that we can take the cover off. And now we are ready to start pulling the side case bolts out. These are not side case bolts, these are oil filter bolts. These are side case bolts, and we're getting ready to pull those out. So
here we go.
Alright, grab the ratchet.
Ratchet.
Air ratchet.
Air ratchet. Okay. Got it.
Alright. One bolt.
Stick it on and mesh it?
Yep.
That's all.
Yep. Make sure you're on the bolt good.
Yeah,
yep. Okay.
Here, you can get the bolts out of it. Whoever. Yeah, if you want to. Reese said he wanted to.
Alright, go ahead. Go.
Reese said he wanted to.
Alright.
Here, Dad. Here, let it go. The reason I'm doing it is because it's my bike, y'all.
That's good.
I'm going to be doing mine too.
That's good, Evan. That's good. So it'll take me just a second.
Oh. That one needs to come out more.
Put them on the rag over there, Reese.
This is right.
Yep.
It's kind of scared. Ooh, not bad. This?
Yep.
Bam.
Okay, hold on now.
Take them all out. Have our
Yep.
box. Daddy, are you sure you're going to know how to put all this back together?
Nope.
You don't? Are you serious?
We'll figure it out. So we've got the case, side case off of the bike, and this is what it looks like with the case off. And here is the case. One piece case covers the whole side of the engine and clutch and everything. One thing to note whenever you are disassembling one of these things, this just slides right out of the case, the top of the case there, the shifter or the clutch lever, clutch actuator. And I thought I heard something metallic go clang clang. I don't know if we dropped a piece as we took the cover off or what. So we'll be finding out that here shortly, I hope. I hope we didn't lose something deep into the depths of the engine here. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Here is our clutch assembly. And we'll be taking these bolts off in just a minute and sliding everything apart. And we'll see how it goes from there. Okay, so all of the engine cover bolts were 8mm, and the bolts holding the clutch in are 10mm bolts. Evan is currently scraping off the remnants of the gasket that comes between the engine and the side cover. Something to note, if you're going to put a clutch in a KLX 140L, you need to order a side cover gasket to go along with it. I did not, so we're gonna have to go with silicone when we go put this back together. But you need to order the gasket. This one came apart,
I did not know that.
and I did not even think about a gasket. So we're gonna have to use silicone to put this thing back together, and hopefully it won't leak. But just remember, if you're doing a clutch job on a KLX 140, don't forget the side cover gasket. Now we got all the bolts out of the top of the clutch here, and we're going to disassemble this one piece at a time so you can see
Pull this off?
what the parts and pieces are. We're going to start with the top, and I don't remember the proper name for all of these things, but
Reach is the part manager, dude.
alright, put them on the rag right there where it's clean.
Put it with the clutch thing.
Alright, now the kit comes with new clutch springs. We're not going to discard these right this minute. We are going to put them over here for just the time being with the rest of the parts.
Clutch.
And then we are going to oh, wait. Alright, we got to take that off now.
Yep.
So we got to take this. This is our next step to remove this bolt right here. It takes a different size socket. So we got to get another socket. Those were 10mm. That looks like about a 13.
And remember about
and we'll
the springs.
Check that in just a minute. Yeah, be sure when you're taking the bolts off that hold, I think that's the pressure plate right there. I think. Don't hold me to that. But when you're taking these bolts off, make sure you ease them all out equally, a little at a time. Otherwise, the springs will push it and jack it sideways, and you don't want that. So there's that. Let's get a socket to fit that, and we'll buzz that off real quick. Okay, so we got the this thing off. I ended up having to use the air impact to buzz this off because it was pretty tight, and it was also spinning. The whole assembly here was turning as I tried to take this out, so I used the impact to break it loose and zip it out of there. And so now we're going to start taking our friction and metal disc out, but you also have in here, on the very top, these two rings right here that'll go in on top of your metal disc and inside the last friction disc here that's on top. So we're going to take those, put them right over here, and we're going to start unstacking the friction, the old friction disc, which you can see here looks pretty worn, and I'm going to unstack friction, then metal, and then friction, and metal again, friction, metal, friction, metal, whoops, friction, and then that's it. We're down to the very bottom there. So now we're going to start back with friction. Again, you always start with friction and end with friction. So we're going in here, and there's not a front and a back. They just go just like that. Friction and then metal. Give me a metal.
Oh, this
right there.
Is metal. Oh, okay.
Why are those not on the clean rag? Metal. Friction.
Is it okay if these get oil on? Yeah.
Metal. Friction. Whoa.
That one's really oily.
Yep.
Last one was oily.
Friction. And then back with the two rings in the center, like so. And now we're going to be ready to start. Where's the springs? Get the springs.
Right here.
Putting everything back together.
Oh, dang it, my fingers are slick.
Alright, we got all the stuff put back together. We got our friction disc and our metal plates. We've got this little jewel right here we put back on with the big nut behind it. I zipped it down with the air impact. And then one thing to remember is make sure that all your splines on your clutch disc, your friction disc, everything is lined up. There's splines on this. There's splines on the inside part there, the hole that mounts this to your basket or whatever. So make sure all those splines are all lined up as you put it together, and you're going to want to, shift it back and forth to get everything to kind of go into place. And now we're ready to tighten down our drive plate or whatever that is. I don't even know what they call that. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to tighten this down. So Evan's going to do that.
Be 10. Right?
Yep, 10 millimeter. The big bolt on the inside there was a 14.
Dad. Dad?
You mash the button, son. Mash the
You
button.
know what we need? You know what we
Actually, let's do it with air. It'll be a lot better.
need?
Alright, so now we've got the clutches back in the bike. Got pretty much the whole thing reassembled. The only thing we're waiting on now is the case, side cover. I put silicone around the side cover there because I didn't order a replacement gasket. I didn't even think about it. So to be able to get this thing back together, we're going to use silicone and hopefully not block off any important oil passages or anything like that. I went around each of these crevices right here. I think these are supposed to be some kind of oil passage. You can see where they made up with another one on the engine right here, and there's a hole. Looks like oil comes out of that and probably goes, I don't know, maybe into the filter. I don't know, it's hard to tell, but anyway, hopefully the silicone will seal off everything that's supposed to be sealed off and not seal off anything that isn't supposed to be. So we're gonna let this get set up a little bit, wait till it gets kind of tacky, and then we'll put it all together and see if it holds oil. Guys, so you can tell that I'm not in the same clothes that I was just in, and I'm also not still at the shop. The clutch installation video didn't quite go the way I'd planned. We had to hurry up and finish it, get everything together and get going because we had somewhere to be and it was getting late. So I just wanted to update you on what happened with the clutch installation on Evan's KLX here. It went fine. It's really not that hard. We didn't get the the reassembly steps in the video that I wanted to because of us having to leave. But the only thing that you really need to know is just to pay attention when you take it apart, and when it goes back together, it's pretty straightforward. Everything goes back together just the way you took it apart, and it's not really a big deal. I'm trying to wheel it out of the shop here so I can get it in some better light. Woo! And here we go. So there we go. Everything's all put back together. I did get a new case, gasket, side case gasket. You know, we did use silicone at first to put it back together just to get it together, but I ordered a new gasket and an oil filter, and so we took the cover back off, changed the oil filter, scraped the silicone off, put the new gasket on, put it all back together, and it's good and dry, besides a little bit of residual oil that spilled when we took it apart. So it's all good to go. Everything works just like it's supposed to, and everything went good. So that's it on the KLX 140 clutch install video. It didn't go quite as I had hoped. I was hoping we'd have a little more time to do the reassembly instructions and show some more detail, but it's really not hard. If you've got just a little bit of mechanical inclination to you at all, you can do it. So I hope it was a helpful video. Hope you enjoyed it. And now we're going to get ready for a race in Milledgeville with the Sork series, and that's going to be a different video entirely. So signing off from this video, getting ready to start the next video.